Drive Thinny Durango here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And now that October has come and gone, it's time to get into what have been my musical highlights of that month, albums that I am recommending to you, great albums of October. And hopefully none of these records slipped through the cracks for you, but if they did, do give them the time, do check them out. They're all linked down there in the description box, links to songs that you can listen to, links to reviews from these records, and that's it, guys. Let's get into the list here. First, I want to give a shout out to the new Conor Oberst album, Ruminations. This is one of the best records this singer-songwriter has dropped in a while, including Bright Eyes albums, in my opinion. On this record, he really strips it back instrumentally to guitar, harmonica, piano, vocals. It's very folky, it's very rootsy, and the lyrics to these songs are painful and autobiographical, and they are cutting. Apparently Conor had just come away from a pretty serious diagnosis of a cyst in his brain shortly before recording this record, and some of what is on this here, some of the material is inspired by that, but even the stuff that isn't inspired by that is actually pretty incredible, like the song You All Loved Him Once, which is a track all about celebrity putting people up on a pedestal, but then eventually the public distrusting these people, tearing them down, ripping them apart. Not only is this album about Conor's personal life, but there are a lot of tracks on here reflecting on fame as well. So it's a pretty interesting moment in Conor's career, not only because of the musical change of pace, but also because it's kind of given him this opportunity to retrospectively look back on the past 10 or 15 years that he's been in the limelight making music, and really kind of put that into a new perspective. We have the band Crying with the record Beyond the Fleeting Gales. This is one of the most versatile, insane, off-the-wall, catchy, melodic, and fun rock records I have heard this year. These guys are showing an incredible amount of promise on their debut album over here. There are so many different styles of rock and pop flowing throughout this thing, whether it be progressive rock or like a little bit of Boston influence here and there, indie rock. It's kind of lo-fi and noisy as well. I mean, it sort of sounds like Deerhoof to me at points, and also kind of sounds like a Japanese pop or Japanese rock to me at points. There are so many things flowing throughout this record. It's hard to keep track of it all, but the band's guitar work, the band's lead vocalist, the band's production style, all kind of keeps it pulled together in this nice, tight little bow. So nothing feels too outside of the purview of the band. It really is their aesthetic that I think makes this whole record come together despite it being so varied. The songs are all pretty straightforward and to the point and short, but they are densely packed with amazing guitar melodies and intricate drum fills and some syncopated guitars and drums. The band is constantly changing and introducing new ideas, but their vocalist, who is usually very calm and breezy and easygoing, kind of brings a bit of a twee vibe to the album. She kind of brings this smoothness to the instrumentals that I think is very, very necessary, because if she was just as hectic and as crazy as everything else in the instrumental, then it would just really be a trip to listen to. Their pop accessibility wouldn't quite be there. So I'm enjoying this record a lot. I hope you give it a shot. I do think it's one of the better, catchier, more fun rock records of the year. Then I have to give a shout out to the new Jeff Rosenstock album, Worry. This is a semi-conceptual new pop-punk album from Mr. Jeff Rosenstock of Bomb the Music Industry fame. The whole second half of it features these very short songs that all segue into one another and feature a myriad of opinions from Jeff on the economy and poverty and the socio-political climate in America today. The first half of the record features mostly these standalone tracks that are well written too. They feature Jeff's usual yelpy vocals, his sharp, cutting, self-deprecating lyrics that are pretty smart, pretty funny. Another fun rock record for me this year, but the lyrics bring a very dark tone a lot of the time, so don't let it depress you or nothing. Another record that I liked this past month that also took a political angle on things was Solange's new record, A Seat at the Table. Not that it's apparent from the surface level of the music either. It's a very kind of breezy, soft, jazzy neo-soul record that's very melodic, it's very sweet on the ears, it's very pleasant. But when you actually dive into what Solange is singing on this record, you can tell she's very concerned with issues like police brutality in America and identity politics. And whether you agree or disagree, it's a very well put together album musically and lyrically. I think it could have been sonically bolder, a little less faint, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. And finally, the new Regina Spektor album, Remember Us to Life. Really great piano pop, piano rock record over here, some elements of chamber pop mixed in there as well. Huge, lavish string sections all over this record. Regina's performances, of course, are fantastic as usual. Her lyrics are poetic and telling, some sharp satire on some of these tracks too. Of course, there are a lot of love songs, moments like The Visit that are absolutely heartwarming, feel like a warm embrace. I think this is one of her best records in years. Unfortunately, some people have been kind of on the fence with it. I sort of understand why. It doesn't feel that much different than her past couple of records, which have just merely been okay, but I swear to you, the songwriting is better. The performances are great. It really kind of feels like, for whatever reason, she's really been invigorated, and she has come out with a stunner on this one. I think it's a stunner. I think there's not a dud in the track list. Even the bonus tracks on this thing are fire, so if you can get a hold of the deluxe version, please do. The Tori Amos fans, the Fiona Apple fans, no excuse. Gotta give this thing a shot. And that's it, guys. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you have a good night's sleep tonight. No, really. Give all these albums a shot. Hope you get some good recommendations out of all of them. And you're the best. Transition. You should give these albums a listen. And you should love them or you should hate them. And tell me what you would rate them. You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. And please subscribe, because there are all sorts of links next to my head. Other videos, subscription, website. So, you know, hit one of those. And hit yourself a nice veggie smoothie or something. Forever.